Hello guys, in this video we'll discuss and implement prompt chaining using Rust. In my previous videos we have run LLMs, build AI agents, applications, but at times our use case may not be as simple as, just like give an input and a prompt, just get us some output. We might need advanced techniques to optimize the output as well as the cost. So for that reason, let's discuss prompt chaining today and how can it help us, produce better outputs as well as optimize our cost at times as well. So there is lots to cover in this video. Make sure you stick around, watch till the end, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments, or you can join me on my Discord, link in description. First of all, let's take a look on the conventional approach which we use in most of our use cases. So let's say we have a tool that can generate a huge drama for you, and user has just to provide the summary. Then we have a huge prompt. We add the prompt and the summary, pass it to our LLM, that is step 2, and it generates title, characters, story beats, location, dialogue, basically all of this stuff for us. Now you can imagine how huge the prompt would be. And if we process in this way, then there are chances that we are, using too much resource, too much tokens, ending up, costing a lot to us. And at times when we try to optimize this in the same way, then we might end up, getting a bit biased or less response than we actually want from our agent. Instead, we can use prompt chaining. Now let's take a look at prompt chaining. So the use case remains the same. Let's try to understand prompt chaining. User enters a summary and we want to generate all the attributes of a drama, let's say. Now here we are passing literally everything with the prompt and want our LLM to give us everything. But right here, what we do is chaining. Step 2 just goes ahead and generates the title. So the prompt would be as simple as generate me a title for this summary instead of, this huge prompt. Similarly, step 3 gets the summary and the prompt would be just to generate the characters. Now, step 3 and step 4, this is where the chaining starts, as you guys can see. So the prompt chaining is when the output of the last step is sent as an input to the next step with the prompt to get the output of the next step. So as you can see, generate characters. Now this step gets prompt, summary, and characters to generate story beats. Similarly, the chain continues and we pass prompt, summary, characters, story beats, and to generate the locations. Similarly, to generate the dialogue. Now, this is not the rule of thumb that always you have to pass, literally everything. You can just pass the output of the last step in the input of the next step. For example, like right here, I need to pass because every step is doing a different task. But let's say my task is in such a way that the first step gives me a summary of something, and the next step I want to, concise that summary. So I don't need the input now. I can just pass the summary and ask my next step to just concise it. Now where we can optimize is, first of all, as you guys can see, our prompt is more simplified. Like instead of huge prompt, we have now basically a single prompt for a single step, a simple prompt. So how can we optimize the cost? First of all, as you can see, instead of huge chunk, we are sending, bit by bit. So the tokens are already optimized. And secondly, we can use different models for each step as well. So what happens is, let's say we want a creative model, but a simple one would do to generate a title. Then we can use an open source model. Similarly, generate characters. Maybe we use some Alibaba model, some DeepSeek, or let's say if we want to, once we have all of this and we want some model to do it for us, we use Gemini or, OpenAI models, which we trust more maybe. So it's all on the use cases, and then we can chain it accordingly and optimize our cost as well. Because now instead of everything going to a single model, just because we think the model is good in doing everything, we can split it into different tasks. Now let's get back to our text editor and try to implement with an example, do a bit of hands-on and see how can we use it in Rust. Let's add a few dependencies that we need: Tokyo for async programming and LLM to help us with prompt chaining. Now I'll be using open source models running on my local for this video, but we can also use cloud hosted models as well. We just need to pass the API key. The code will remain the same. So since I'm using Ollama models, as you can see, I have two models, Gemma and Llama3.2. So we'll be using both for our use case today. So let's get to the code. So to establish a chain, first of all, we need our models that we want to use. So let's first of all add Gemma or Llama LLM builder, new, and right here we'll add our backend. As you can see, we have tons of options. We can set temperature, max tokens, system, reasoning effort, reasoning, budget tokens, literally everything. As you can see, timeout, stream, top P, top N, like literally all the different attributes that we can see set. We can also set validators, attempts. Now right here, first of all, we'll set our backend, and backend I'll set as Ollama. But as you can see, we have all the options: OpenAI, Anthropic, Ollama, DeepSeek, XAI, and Google Grok. But I'll be using Ollama. And then we can provide the name of the model. So since we are using Llama3.1b and build, I don't need to pass any API key. You guys can pass if you're using from some cloud hosted or restricted models. And builder, new, backend, again just pass the backend. So again, in this case it's Ollama, and model as Llama 3.21b, and finally build. So we have the builders for both of our models. Now we have to pass them in a registry. So let registry, and here we'll just say LLM registry builder, new, and we can pass and register. So the ID is, let's say, Gemma, and we'll see in a minute why do we need these IDs. And right here we'll just pass, and similarly register as, make sure these are unique IDs. So Llama, let's say if you are using multiple Llama models, Llama 3.21b or Llama 3.127b as well, or even other variants, so you can accordingly like unique your IDs. And build. So we get our registry, and now let's build the chain. So we have chain response and multi prompt chain, new, and pass our registry. And then we have to just keep on adding our steps. So as you can see, step, and let's add the step, multi chain step builder, new, and the mode. So multi chain step mode as, let's say, chat, provider ID. Now provider ID would be the model that you want to use. So in this case, I want to use Gemma. So I'll just provide the ID as the same ID I have in my registry, which is this one. So as you can see, backend identifier to use. So here the identifier is Gemma. Then the ID of this output, so unique identifier for this step. So let's say this step is for summarization. And then the template where we have to pass our prompt, as you can see, the prompt or the template. So right here we just pass, let's say, summarize the key features Rust programming language in 3 concise bullet points. That's what we want this step to do for us. And then let's build it simply. And after this, we add another step. And right here, all we do is multi-chain step builder again. New, same, the mod is chat. Again, multi-chain step chat. And now the provider ID is change, which is Llama. So let's use Llama. And now the template that we want to use, first of all, let's add the ID. So the ID we want to use here is, let's say, documentation. And the template we want to add is, here is a summary. So what we do is we can pass our previous output. So as I explained in the start, by just telling the ID. So when I say summarization, I'm passing the output of this step. And then we just say, let's add some new lines here. Create a brief markdown documentation section explaining these points for a beginner. And then we just do is build. And finally, we'll just do run, await. And once we get our response, we can just, print it saying output. And let's use some formatting as well, since we'll be getting each step response as well. So let's use generous, which is, as you guys can see, it's a hash map. So let's write it, as we have literally everything ready now. So let's get an overview of what we have here before we run. So in this use case, we want to generate the summary and document the core features of Rust programming language. Now we can easily do it with one go from a single model. But let's say we want to pass our tools to Llama, or we know that Llama is better in documentation, but Llama is better in summarization. So in this case, as you can see, it's split it. So each model just does its own task and doesn't have to care about, let's say, Llama doesn't have to care about documentation, and Llama is not, cared or thinking about what should I write. Instead, it's more thinking about how can I document it. So it's pretty straightforward, simple chain. In the same way, you guys can use tons of chains. You can have mix and match of models on cloud and running in your local. So it's just basically building a workflow and just running it. So let's run our application and see how it works. Right here we can just do cargo run quite. So here you go, we get our response. Let's observe the response and understand what do we have. So we have our summarization response, and then we have also our documentation response. Now for summarization, as you can see, it says here is the summary of 3 core features of Rust, which is memory safety and garbage collection, and then we have concurrency and performance, and then there is strong typing and error detection, and we have everything, a point mention about everything in the bullets. Now when we give it to our Llama for documentation purposes, as you can see right here, it provides us in such a way that it's properly marked down, so we can use it for documentation purposes. And that's what we do or achieve with our multi-model approach, as you can see right here. So let me know if you like similar videos. I'll explore more as well. I'll catch you guys in another video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye.